The ability to be in the present moment is a major component of mental wellness, so says Abraham Maslow. It's also a major component of physical wellness, capability, and alertness. I take that to mean that life is easier, more manageable, it's better for you to forge ahead with your goals and objectives when you are in good health. Many say the best wealth is great health. Welcome to Wellness and Living. Our focal point today is fibroids. My name is Thelma Obaze. Fibroids are often benign. They are non-cancerous. They may not affect you for a prolonged period, and they may not prevent you from having children. But until you seek a medical personnel's advice or know-how, you may not really know how to handle it. As we often do, we go out, we talk to people. We like to know what your experiences are, and we like to know what you're thinking, so we can share, and we can bring all this together and work harder for a better you.
Because I'm not a medical person, but I know fibroid is a sickness that grew inside people's body or stomach, and it has a lot of effects, maybe contributing to lack of birth to women.
Fibroid occurs because most times the doctor says is when the womb is not cultivated, kind of, just like a fallow ground, and there is nothing cultivated on it. The grass has to grow. So fibroid does grow in womb that is not cultivated.
From my little understanding, I was told that when a lady got to her menopause stage, that is when she could not give birth, or when she don't have the opportunity of meeting men, or she don't have a husband and she got to her menopause, it degenerates. Because she could not have a constant relationship with the male foal, it brought up that fibroid.
I don't know how to define it, but I know it's like it also grows like a child in the womb of women, and it either allows them to have miscarriage when they are pregnant, or it doesn't even allow them to get pregnant at all.
It's women. I have not heard of any man having a fibroid. I've not heard of any man say it's women mostly.
Some people will tell you maybe it's what you eat. So I don't know how on earth will you eat something and get fibroid. For me, I believe that maybe it's due to late marriage. It leads to maybe you are this person that don't like meeting the male for. Some people will tell you, okay, I'm late for marriage. Maybe she's like 40, 39, maybe 45, and now she's not able to get married.
Women are more to eat, but generally it's for humans. So in fact, even animals can have fibroids. So what I think a proper solution should be done to humans.
Good eating habits can help, like eating veggies and all those proteins, and just eating habits can help, I know. But it's also help, these days women don't get married early. So in the olden days we don't hear about fibroid, but these days is more on the high side because most women stay 40, and that's when you just get to hear about fibroid.
For me, I would advise every lady at that age to, if possible, before that menopause stage, if she can, even if she cannot get married, if she can just have a baby, I don't think there's nothing wrong about that.
Greg Anderson opines that complete wellness is the complete integration of body, mind, and spirit, working harmoniously for the best results for you. So when in doubt about the body, the mind, or the spirit, what do? We seek the wise counsel of well-trained medical personnel. We spoke to Dr. Ebuta Agbo. He's oftentimes doing work outside of his office, helping people who have little or nothing to present to medical personnel when they seek for help and for treatment. But we held on to him and we insisted that he give us more information about what we're discussing today, which is fibroids.
Fibroids are tumors growing within the muzzle of the uterus. So tumors are actually two types. They are the types that grow, they stay in one place where they are growing and they never spread. And then there's a second type that grows and spreads to almost all parts of the body if it's allowed to. So fibroids belong to the first group. They grow within the uterus and they do not spread from the uterus. So they are actually benign tumors of the muzzle of the uterus. Obviously, women, if you don't have a womb, the chances that you're going to get a fibroid is 0. So women are out there top on the list. And the age of the person, if you are 30 to 40, most patients who present with fibroids are likely going to be within that age range. That's not to say before that age you can't have fibroids. You will certainly have, but you may not present with it in the hospital. So most people are within the age range of 30 to 40. Some of them are less than that, and a few more are actually above that. And then patients who are obese to a large extent have a higher risk of having fibroids, and patients whose mothers or relatives, women, also had fibroids to a large extent are more likely to have fibroids. Also patients who have been exposed to certain hormones. The hormones that are involved are usually the female hormones, estrogen, progesterone, and for obese people they tend to have the metabolic abnormality that allows the proliferation of that kind of hormone, and so those fibroids will tend to grow to a large extent. If you are African, that again also is a risk factor. It's much higher when you compare the white population and the African population, generally speaking. If you have 100 women and you check all of them, about 20 to as much as 80% of them are going to have fibroids. Now, fibroid may just be a tiny dot on the uterus, or it may be as big as my head to a large extent. That depends on when it came up and how fast it has been growing and how long it has been there. So the question of what to do would depend to a large extent on the size and the symptoms it is causing. So number one, for example, if a woman has a huge fibroid and is compressing her bladder where you store urine, and because of that the capacity of the bladder is reduced and you have to go and urinate every hour, every 2 hours, and it's too frequent and it's disrupting your social milieu to a large extent, you probably would want to do something about it. And of course, fibroids are sometimes known to compress the outlet from behind. So you may have patients with constipation, patients with a pressure around the lower part of the abdomen, patients who present with back pain to a large extent, and patients who for reasons associated with increased blood flow to the womb as a result of the fibroid present with heavy menses. Some women have been known to bleed so much that their blood level falls to a very low level, and it's called anemia, and they have had to be transfused. So fibroids indeed can present like that. But if none of this is the situation and you are fine, You basically may probably just want to watch. And another situation where you think you should do something is in ladies who may have some challenges with fertility. So if you have a huge fibroid that is obstructing one of the tubes, which may be the only functional tube, there's a good chance that if you take off that fibroid, you may open up the tube, and to a large extent. If you have a huge fibroid that is within the womb, the inner part of the womb, and is actually sitting where a baby should stay and develop, obviously it's going to create challenges for the baby and may lead to loss of the baby earlier than the 9 months where the baby would have been developed. So that again is a problem. So all these scenarios are actually scenarios where you may consider doing something. And if you have a woman who is approaching her menopause, for example, she's 49 years old, and you notice a fibroid, if it's causing problem, we need to understand that fibroids are hormone driven to a large extent. So by the time she achieves menopause and there are no hormones to drive the process, the fibroids may begin to atrophy. In that scenario, you could, in agreement with the patient, say, okay, maybe since you are going to be in menopause in a couple of years, 1 or 2 years, we can wait and watch and see. After menopause, it's going to come down.
Eliminating the things you love is not wellness. Wellness feeds your soul and makes you feel good. So says Iman, one of the world-renowned models that we have come to know, especially because she's of African descent. Let me align that especially with our day-to-day activities. Sometimes people resist change, not because it will hurt, not because it will bring about some discomfort, just because they are breaking from their normal pattern. What do we need to imbibe to achieve or attain wellness? Just eating right, distressing, finding new ways to make our meals so that we'll enjoy it, but doing it in a more healthy way. And when we think of the fact that all we're doing is working assiduously to live a quality life and to attain longevity, it encourages us to do even more. We must find new ways, inventive ways, to do things that are in our best healthy interest and do it in a way that we will become comfortable with and eventually we will enjoy and look forward to. We put together this package, especially as it concerns women of African descent. Let us know more about fibroids.
Let's start off with Dana's real-life story. She says, I never had any symptoms, but I've always had long and heavy periods. After Dana had a son 11 years ago, her gynecologist found a fibroid during a routine checkup. There is yet another story, this time from Vera in Lagos. She says sometime in May 2013, she attended a cousin's wedding, and during the reception, she was overcome by sharp pain in her pelvic area. As embarrassing as it can be, her white attire was totally drenched in blood due to excessive flow. I felt faint, she said, and there was pandemonium on a day that should have been meant for celebration. Luckily for these two women, it ended well. They had access to medical professionals and they got treated. And it goes on just like that or worse for many women. Fibroids are abnormal growths that develop in a woman's uterus. Sometimes these tumors become quite large and cause severe abdominal pain. They bring about heavy periods, sometimes painful sexual experiences, and an urge to urinate. In other cases, there are no symptoms at all. The growths are typically benign, that is, they are non-cancerous. Fibroids are more commonly found with Africans and African Americans. Also known as uterine myomas or fibromas, they can be diagnosed through pelvic exams or scans. Fibroid pain or pressure can affect a woman's quality of life. Surgical treatment options include myomectomy or fibroid removal. There's also the option of hysterectomy or uterus removal. This is only recommended for women who have no future pregnancy plans. Hysterectomy is the only fibroid treatment that prevents regrowth of fibroids. There are some factors that can increase the risks of a woman getting fibroid: age, family history, obesity, and ethnic origin. There are several types of fibroids. There is one known as the intramural. This is the most common and it grows in the wall of the uterus. We also have the subserosal fibroids. These grow on the outside of the uterus. There's also the submucosal. This grows just underneath the uterine lining and can crowd into the uterus and lead to heavy bleeding and other complications. Fibroids are treatable, and should any woman at any time in her life notice some symptoms, it is advisable not to panic, but rather seek the wise counsel of a medical professional.
For many of us, if we're given an opportunity to double the amount in our bank account, we'll go for it in a jiffy. What is your biggest source of wealth? It's your health. I then wonder why some people procrastinate and delay when it comes to matters of health. We cannot overemphasize the need for regular and detailed medical checkups. But before we even go for the checkups, there are things we can do on our own. We can choose to make our meals in a healthy way. We can choose to do some light exercise. Please join us.
Joining us, we want to do some warm-up exercises in prayer, do some body work. We do some jumping jacks, some leg raises. We want to make it exciting, make it fun. We want to make it very integrative. So let's work out together, okay? We want to be sure that there are things that you can do. Samuel, how are you doing? Are you ready for the workout? So hands on our waist and then take it left to right. So let's start with the right. Go to the left. I know you. Can you pass? Five. This is my girl Janicia. She's so keen on exercise, and I thought we'd bring her here today so we'll all have fun together. Janicia, say hello. Hi. Are you ready to work out with us? Yes. Great, fantastic. Just do one after the other. This one I'm going to do this thing just said. I just talked about him like Mr. Leaf. So go to the right, go to the left, right, left, right, left, right. So we squat, we jump up. Squat, jump up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's stay on the squat. Now go backwards now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Spread your hands, spread your legs. 4 and 5. That's 15. Wow. Let's shake it out. Right leg, left hand. Right, left leg, right hand. Okay then. Let your palms support your body, okay? Let's do some mountain climbing. Don't let your butt be too high up. Bring it down so you're comfortable. Okay, so the right leg goes in, left leg follows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 3 sets. Wow. Okay, let's check it out. So our push-ups, wrap up with our push-ups, okay?
Glasses.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. One more set. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. 12, 13, 14, and 15. Wow. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you so much for keeping our company this morning on our exercise bit. We love to see you again. Okay, do take time to do your own workout and get the best results.
Wellness is more than eating at the appropriate time and eating like a king at breakfast, a prince at lunch, and a pauper at dinner. It's more than just working out with family and friends when the mood takes you. Wellness is completely renewing your perspective on life. This gift of a body that we have, it's completely looking at it in a fresh way and seeking new and inventive ways to keep it working at all times at optimal capacity. We have been talking about fibroids, and we do hope you have learned something on our program today, Wellness and Living. Do join us on our social media handle, Wellness and Living at Nigerian Television Authority. Would love to see you there. Tell us what you want us to talk about. Tell us what ails you or what ails those you love. My name is Thelma Obaze. I'd love to do this again. Bye-bye for now.
My name is Natu Baba, and some people they say I be superstar. But to me, the real superstars